get them ready a little bit before we hit the road. So told them all they hurry up and get in the shower so we get out of here. But no, it's we're playing well. We're 4-0, scoring the ball well. Defense needs to improve. We've got a chance against two quality opponents, whoever the second game ends up being against, to show that we're a capable defensive team against, you know, a quality opponent. So that's been our focus. Got to get our defense better. Been our focus in practice. You know, Ohio State's physical, typical Big Ten team, tough, physical. You know, going to put some pressure on our defense and on our rebounding both. You know, they've got good quality bigs. They got good rim protection on their defensive end. We got to make good rim decisions when we get to the rim because they got some real shot blocking. They had 10 blocks in the game, and then they, you know, they'll post it more than probably any team we've seen so far. So our post defense is going to have to be good. They've got good guard play. I mean, they've got multiple kids on their team that we recruited as well. You know, Thornton's from Atlanta area. He's tough, physical. He's put together well. He's shooting the ball well. You know, Roddy Gale from up in Western New York. I recruited him too. He's athletic and, you know, good guard with size. You know, and they've got good players. So we're gonna have to be ready to go when the ball goes up on Friday night. But I like where we're at. I think our guys. I like our group. I think we'll step up to the challenge, but it's going to be two tough games for us.
Joe.
Coach, you've talked already this year about using about trimming the depth on the team based on the defensive intensity. With the back-to-back games, will that change at all, or is it still kind of based on how well you play defense?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to really change because if you don't win the first one, you know, our goal is to go 2-0 on this deal. We got to win the Friday night game. Now, Saturday night, depending on how many minutes certain guys had to play, maybe you got to play some guys Saturday night that maybe didn't play as much Friday or whatever because of that, maybe. But we're going to put the guys out there that we think give us the best chance to get stops on Friday night against Ohio State, because I think that's where it's at with this team right now. And I think we're going to have enough guys capable, bought into the defensive end by Friday night that we'll have a solid rotation, some guys that are serious about getting stops.
Nick.
Yeah, outside of walking away with 2 wins, I mean, what would you say is the thing for you to say, yeah, this was a very successful tournament for us?
I mean, our defensive intensity, our defensive execution, how good can we get our defense? You know, and Ken Palm's not the end all be all, but we give you a decent barometer of where you're at compared to other programs in the country. And right now we're barely inside the top 25 in defensive efficiency. You know, can we make a big jump? Can we shut down some quality offensive teams? You know, that to me is how good can we be on the defensive end against two quality teams, starting with Ohio State. You know, how much, and they're a lot different. You know, they'll post up more. Sometimes they roll out the two bigs together at the same time. You know, they'll post their wings, their guards. So, you know, how good of a job can we do in the post, both with our guards and our bigs? We've got good shooters. You know, can we get locked into their shooters? We didn't do a very good job keeping Mercer out of the paint last game. You know, this is a team that wants to drive you. You know, they've got tough physical guards that'll drive you. You know, can we keep them out of the paint? So I'm gonna mainly be looking at the defensive side of the ball over these 2 games and see how much we can improve on the defensive side of the ball.
Tony.
You mentioned the defensive side of the ball down low. How much of an improvement have you seen from Nick Pringle the last 2 weeks, and how encouraging is that heading into a game like this?
You know, Nick's gotten significantly better, but you know, now he's gonna have to guard some real posts that they try to punch it to that can really score. It's gonna have to be different. His ball screen defense got significantly better. His rim protection got better. Help defense is there. Everything got a lot better for Nick over the last 2 weeks, and hopefully we can continue to see him progress and be the leader we need him to be. You know, in the interior, we got to get, you know, Mo Wagi to make similar jumps because he's got all of the want to, all the athleticism, toughness, you know, physicality. He's got all that. He's just got to figure out how we want him to go because it's definitely a lot different than what they were doing in West Virginia.
Charlie. You mentioned liking where the team's at. Just what have you maybe learned about this group in the first 4 games?
You know what, they really pull for each other. I mean, you look at our body language on the bench in games, look at the way guys help each other out, how they're pulling for each other. You know, I mean, we've got certain guys, Rylan Griffin really stepped up and was a great teammate to Sam Walters the other week in practice. Started, you know, we kind of have 2 teams, and winner, loser, every drill, and, you know, Rylan was on the opposite team from Sam, and Sam didn't make a sprint, so Rylan ran the next one with them, right side by side, trying to encourage Sam, you know, and if, you know, they don't make their sprint again, it gives Rylan's team another win on the board, but he knows in reality of it, we're all on the same team trying to make each other better. So instead of, and Sam's a guy that plays a similar position to Rylan, he's still trying to make him better. I just think there's a lot of that on this team. Guys that know what's best for the team is that other guys at their position get better and help the team out. We had that going with Jordan Bruner, Alex Reese, you know, in years past. I think teams like that are special and can make deep runs because everybody, you got great chemistry in the locker room. We've got really good people on the team. You know, Davin Cosby's one of the best people I've been around. Like, he's wants to get better, wants to help, but he's super happy for his teammates that are playing ahead of him. Like, you know, he's a guy that you want to find minutes for because he's such a good kid. Like that Milwaukee. Literally, you can go down the list. Almost everybody on this team really pulls for their teammates to be better, and great character. I think that's what we've learned, because it's easy to be that way before the game start. Minutes aren't divided. It's a lot harder once the minutes start getting divided up. How good are you when you're not playing as much as you want? And we've got some guys that are great teammates and are really good people despite not playing as many minutes as they want. So I think that's the biggest thing we've learned in the first 2 weeks. Can we continue to do that now that the minutes will get even more shrunk up? That, you know, that'll be the question. But I based on what I know about this group, is I think we're gonna have really good chemistry throughout the year, no matter whether they're playing a ton of minutes or not.
2 more, Charlie. We'll make it quick. Sorry.
I know you're focused on Ohio State, but do you have early thoughts on Oregon and Santa Clara? And how tough is it to kind of cram for 3 teams right here early in the season?
Yeah, so I told our guys this, other than the SEC tournament where it's just a whole different beast, where it's, you've already played every team you're gonna play at least once, if not twice, and it's back to back to back. That's kind of a different deal. This will be the only time that you play 2 teams in one weekend before the NCAA tournament, outside of the SEC tournament. So we kind of told them, like, let's prep like it's an NCAA tournament. It is a little bit different. There's no days between the games, where the NCAA tournament, you get 1 day between. But can you prep for 3 teams with a week prep, or half a week, whatever, you know, get Sunday night, you find out who your 4 teams are in your little pod to make it to the Sweet 16, and you'll either play Thursday or Friday. You know, we had a little longer to prep, and we go back to back, but it's the most similar thing we'll see to the first weekend of the NCAA tournament, and then hopefully the second weekend. So told our guys, let's try to prep like that. Let's look at some Oregon, Santa Clara stuff maybe earlier in the week. Once we got, you know, we were off yesterday. Once we get into today's practice, it's all Ohio State. Tomorrow's all Ohio State, but we did do some stuff on Sunday and Monday in practice that, you know, trying to get ready for Oregon's zone defense. They haven't played it much this year, but they have it in their package, you know, trying not to be surprised by anything we might see on Santa Clara, Oregon's defensive side of the ball. Just looking at some of that and making sure, you know, we kind of took what those 2 teams might do and did a little bit of that Sunday, Monday. Today has been all Ohio State, and so tomorrow.
Last one, Tony.
With it being Thanksgiving tomorrow and you guys are traveling, what do you guys do to kind of create that team bonding experience, or maybe, you know, gather up at whatever?
We're gonna have a Thanksgiving meal on Thanksgiving Day. It'll just be with the team. So we, yeah, we're, actually the owner of Chuck's here in town owns Harbor Docks down there. So I think we're gonna do Thanksgiving dinner at, I believe it's Harbor Docks is where, is that correct? Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, and then we'll have obviously when you're together on the road, you have all your meals together, so we'll have a couple meals together on Thanksgiving Day, but we'll make sure we have the turkey and mashed potatoes and dressing, whatever else goes with Thanksgiving meal. So we'll do that, and then, we'll practice. We'll watch some, there's college basketball and there's NFL games on Thanksgiving Day. Packers are playing the Lions. I don't know how well that's gonna go for us, but we'll make sure we have some NFL and some turkey, some college basketball on while we're prepping for Ohio State. So that's my Thanksgiving, college basketball, NFL games and some turkey. So we'll make sure we replicate that. So, all right, you guys have a good Thanksgiving. See you on Friday.